Well, hello there, and good journey. Good journey, fellow travelers. Welcome to another episode of Space Oats Podcast, a Crucial Crew podcast. This is Space Oats episode 17. We're up to 17 now. And today, I was giving myself to the dark side a little bit today. If anybody was following me on Instagram today, I was at Galaxy's Edge today, and I did a little dark side dapper, as I would like to call it. So you can check those posts out. I was at Galaxy's Edge having some fun today. It was pretty good. But kind of my inspiration for that is a little bit of what we're going to talk about tonight. So speaking of that, we got three things that we're going to really dive into tonight. So we're going to talk about a little bit of some history today, something that happened in history today that kind of inspired me today to go with the dark side, and also to be wearing my Empire Strikes Back items going on here. Actually, I think I'm going to switch cameras, possibly. Let's see here. Let's go a little bit deeper here. Yeah, so, well, I don't know if I like that look. Pretty close. But anyway, we'll keep this one on for a while. Anyway, so what inspired me to go Empire Strikes Back Dark Side today? Also, we're going to talk a lot about Star Wars Celebration. I know I've done a little bit of bits and pieces here on some live streams on Instagram here and there, talking a little bit about things that I couldn't contain. But we're going to dive into it. We're going to go day by day and just talk about what I saw, maybe some things I didn't see and that I'm excited for. Maybe I didn't get to some of the panels because a lot of things conflicted and things like that. So we'll go down that road. A big road of Star Wars Celebration. And we'll see how much we get done. Honestly, I might have to talk a little bit more about that next week as well and hold off on some of that stuff. So we'll have to see. But and then finally, we're going to talk about Mandalorian a little bit because it's been a couple weeks. I have not done a live stream. I did not do a live stream last week because I was still in London. But we're gonna talk about the last two episodes of Mandalorian, and in anticipation of the finale that drops tonight. So let's get going with this. Going back to today. So today, in Star Wars history, we had the birth of someone very special. That being the real original voice of the Emperor. That being Mr. Clive Revill. Clive was born today, April 18th, 1930. He is still living, actually. So awesome, in his 90s and living it up. I don't know if he's currently, I know he's from New Zealand, but I don't know if he's still there or where he is currently, but still hanging around, still hanging out there. I'm actually watching Empire Strikes Back, the old version with Clive in it. So I haven't gotten to that scene yet, but exciting to think about, because really the Emperor in A New Hope really didn't have but a little bit of a mention by Tarkin. And then Empire Strikes Back, we actually got to see him. It wasn't him that was portrayed. That was portrayed by a different person with a mask and so forth. And just the, shadowy figure. They didn't really, I don't really think they had an idea of what he was going to look like live yet. But Clive Revill just voiced the Emperor, as we know originally. That's what I grew up with, was that version of Empire Strikes Back. And Kind of curious as to like your feelings on that. With the change of that, once the prequels came around and then Revenge of the Sith finished, George Lucas went back and wanted to kind of fix the continuity of it, because Ian McDiarmid, who portrayed the Emperor in Return of the Jedi, then ended up going back and portraying Palpatine in the prequels. So he kind of wanted to tie everything together and reshot those scenes, that scene in Empire Strikes Back with the hologram, and changed the dialogue a little bit to fit the continuity. But honestly, I don't really think that would have been needed. I think the original dialogue would have worked still. But, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the changes. We all love Ian McDiarmid, but you got to remember the original. You got to remember the original. Clive Revill, he did an amazing job. So he's the first person to really bring life to the character with his voice acting in that. And he did a lot of voice acting, honestly. I mean, he did a lot of movies back in the day as well, and was pretty well known for some of his movies in the time. But yeah, he did a lot of voice acting, even further down the line. So I was kind of looking at his kind of history throughout, and even like in the video game world, he actually did some other Star Wars stuff. He did Star Wars X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, Star Wars The Old Republic. He did a few other voice work in all three of those. So yeah, he hung around a little bit in the Star Wars world. So that's pretty cool to know that, because I didn't realize that. I didn't realize he did any other voice acting in any of those other areas. But yeah, shout out to Clive. Born today in 1930. Voiced the Emperor in the 1980 version of The Empire Strikes Back. Changed in the... So let's see if Revenge of the Sith... Can't remember. It was another DVD release, like re-release of Empire Strikes Back, of the sequels. Not the sequels. The originals. That basically did that change after Revenge of the Sith. Can't remember the release date on that, though. I think it was 20... I want to say it was 2020? I don't know. I can't remember. Could have been 2010. I'm not good with dates. I think it's coming out anyway. But yeah. So let's get into the big thing, because this is going to take a while. Star Wars Celebration. Star Wars Celebration happened. Let's see here. Let's start out with so my goodness, what a crazy... I always say that every celebration has been the best. Every celebration has been the best. So this is number 4 for me. Number 4 for me. Number 1 was Orlando. Number 2, Chicago. Number 3, Anaheim. Number 4, London. Every celebration is different. If you've never been to a celebration, you will find this out. Your first celebration is always going to be a little bit overwhelming, because you're going to try to be figuring out how in the world do I get to see everything. I don't want to miss out, and it's impossible. A lot of people talk about Star Cruiser, and it's kind of the same way. You're not going to be able to see everything your first time. Fortunately for Star Cruiser, it's the same thing. You can go back and you can revisit. Star Wars Celebration changes all the time. So if you miss something, you miss something. And you just got to kind of get over it. But you got to kind of pick your route. Pick your what you want to do for the celebration and go with it. And usually you figure out that by the first day. So we flew into London. We got there Thursday, the day before, really early. But we got to the hotel pretty early, and we got to rest up a bit and make sure that we were good to go, no jet lag and so forth. And then I ended up going to a little pre-party that night. Yeah, I got a t-shirt, but I totally don't know where it is right now. Anyway, so yeah, I went to a little pre-party that night, last minute tickets, which was really fun. Got to meet Mike Celestino there for the first time, who's the boss, which was really cool. And then I didn't want to stay out too late, so I got back early because I wanted to be able to get up early Friday morning. Because so the XL Center, I mean, they posted it on the app. They basically said nobody that gets there before 8 o'clock will be able to enter in. Yeah, they always say it obscure to make it sound like you can't queue up outside. I don't know why I always listen to that, but I knew. So I got up at like I can't remember, but I started walking over there at like 7:30, and by the time I got over there, the queue was pretty long to get in. So, but I wasn't too far back, honestly. I knew I was going to get into at least the Galaxy stage. Obviously, for Celebration live stage, they were not going to let anyone in standby for the first panel, which is kind of annoying for us that don't get selected for those panels by the random generator of panel picks because I have not gone to a first panel live stage ever, actually, in all my 4 Star Wars celebrations. So never been picked. And even for Orlando, didn't get there early enough to queue up for any of those. So maybe one day I'll be able to get into those. So we'll see. See what happens with Japan. So I don't know. Curious to see how that'll be organized. But yeah, so I was able to get into the Galaxy stage for the Lucasfilm Studio Showcase panel. And this panel had so much released. And I can't remember the actual order, honestly, but I'm going to go through my favorites, kind of like the order of what I was most excited about seeing at that panel. Obviously, the Ahsoka information was my favorite all-time top information the entire weekend, honestly. And it really came on Friday. I didn't really think I thought they were going to maybe tease a little bit, but I didn't think they were going to give as much away on Friday as they did on Saturday. I thought more of it was going to come out on Saturday. And they held back some for Saturday, which was great. But Friday, we actually got the trailer. We got the trailer on Friday. The trailer that everybody's seen, we got that on Friday, which I'm sure everybody's watched by now. If you have not watched the Ahsoka trailer, you got to watch the Ahsoka trailer. I mean, if you're a Rebels fan, this is like Rebels live action coming back. I mean, we've already seen Zevin the Mandalorian. We have Ahsoka. We now have Sabine. We have Hera. We have Chopper. And a hologram of Ezra. And we got to see in the trailer like the backside of Thrawn on Friday. We got to see a little bit more on Saturday, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, we got to see the backside of Thrawn. So pretty amazing that we got to see all of that on Friday, and then we actually got to see another returning character. Just didn't really know anything about who was voicing him yet because they didn't say anything, but he was in the trailer. That being of Huyang, the droid from Clone Wars, that kind of helped out with the younglings. That was voiced by David Tennant. We didn't get to hear anything on Friday about who was portraying him, but you got to see him in the trailer. And that was basically it. Saw a little bit more of some interesting people that we didn't get any details on Friday. That got held off until Saturday as well. And there was some other details that were held off on until Saturday. So, but the big trailer reveal on Friday was very surprising, and that was definitely the highlight of the day, in fact, the weekend for me. Obviously, we got to have another trailer the next day, which made it even better, but starting it off with Ahsoka trailer during the Lucasfilm Showcase panel was outstanding. What a great way to start off Star Wars Celebration. I honestly got really emotional watching that because, yeah, I mean, I'm just a big Ahsoka fan right now. So really, really awesome to have that. And then that amazing poster. No, we didn't get that on Friday. We didn't get that on Friday, I don't think. I don't think we got that on Friday. I think they got it on Saturday. So we'll hold off on revisiting that a little bit. But yeah, so my second favorite thing that was announced at the Lucasfilm Showcase panel was the fact that we're getting 3 new movies. 3 new movies. And I know that was at the end of the panel, but again, I'm going by my favorites that happened during the panels. So the 3 new movies announcement. And this is very hopeful. And I believe that these are going to happen, honestly, because, yes, we got that Rogue Squadron announced a few years back in Chicago, actually, and then it never came to fruition. But honestly, I think that these are going to happen. I think it's a for sure thing. The first one that I'm most excited about is the James Mangold project. I'm a big fan of James Mangold. I liked what I've seen so far of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. We'll talk about that in a bit. I also loved Logan. Was amazing. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of James Mangold. So I have a feeling he's going to do a really interesting job with this movie that takes place 25,000 years before the Battle of Yavin. So the explanation of it is that it's the dawn of the Jedi, and that it's kind of biblical in a sense, which, very religious. When you're talking about the Force, the dawn of the Force, it's going to get very almost like 10 Commandments feel, I think he mentioned, which is those vibes of being biblical. I'm really into that. So I'm looking forward to that one a lot. Just like how the Force is used, who discovers the Force. Yeah, I think that's going to be a really interesting project. And I'm wondering, what kind of... I don't know if you remember I think it was Dark Horse Comics had the Tales of the Jedi series that took place tens of thousands of years in the past. I wonder if they're going to pull some of that, some of those, maybe those character names, maybe some locations into canon, maybe tweak it a little bit and all that. So that would be interesting. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. I kind of want to revisit some of those comics now and see what happens. See what might come to the fold, come to real life canon. So that would be pretty amazing. But yeah, out of all the 3 movies, I'm most excited about those, and I really believe that that's going to happen. The only thing that would make me doubt it's going to happen is if Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny flops. But from what I've seen so far, I don't think it will. I think it's going to be a good movie. I think it's going to be done very well. So I think we're in good hands with James Mangold with that project. And do I think it could spin off as more? They're announcing 3, but that movie could actually be a series in some way or another. If it does really well, it could end up being a 2 and a 3. It could be a trilogy of sorts, which is exciting. The other one that I'm second out of the 3 movies that I'm excited about is the Dave Filoni project, because Dave, I believe, deserves a run at the movies, at directing and so forth. So his is going to take place during the New Republic, filling in that gap between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens. We're getting a lot of tie-ins with Mandalorian, especially with Mandalorian, past couple episodes, which we'll talk about. But we're getting a lot of tie-ins to the prequels, the sequels, everything that's going on. So that Mandoverse coming together, once Skeleton Crew comes out and Ahsoka's finished, and then Mandalorian season 3 finishes up this week. Depending on when that movie is gonna come out, if we're gonna wait until one of those other series has a second season or whatever, we'll have to see. But basically, it's like the Avengers of the Mandoverse. Is what basically we're getting the feel for. It's going to be that culmination of all these characters coming together in this one big battle, which in my thoughts has got to be Thrawn, right? It's got to be Thrawn as like the big bad in that film. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. And then the last of the 3 movies that's been announced, I think the David Filoni one, that's just going to be a one-off. Honestly, that's going to be a solo movie. I'll not think that there's going to be a 2 or a 3 or anything like that. I think it's just going to be a standalone film for him. And then the last one that was announced is going to be done by Charmin, and I hope I pronounce her name right, Obayed Shinoy. And I believe she had a part in the Ms. Marvel Disney Plus series, which I really enjoyed, honestly. So this is going to be the new Jedi Order, which is going to take place, I believe they said 15 years after the Rise of Skywalker. And basically who's going to train the new Jedi. And they really didn't say it was going to be Daisy Ridley, but they announced Daisy Ridley's coming back as Rey. And there was all this like rumor, she came out in a red dress. Does that mean that she's gone to the dark side? All this stuff. So I really don't know what's going to happen. I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that was just to throw people off. But especially with her kind of being known as Rey Skywalker now, this is going to be a Skywalker saga continuation, in my opinion. Which we may see, the Force Ghost of Luke come back. I don't know if they do Carrie Fisher Force Ghost. I don't know how they would do that, but that might be crossing the line a little bit. I don't know, but I believe we'll see some interesting things in that series, and I believe it's going to be a series as well. I think that's going to be a trilogy, as long as she does a good job with the first one. But they're going to be really looking at that one. That one's going to be a tougher one to sell out of all the 3, honestly, because of what everybody feels about how that trilogy, that sequel trilogy, ended up. I'm fine with it. I love Daisy Ridley. I love Rey. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So yeah, so the timeline's expanding, past, present, and future. If you're thinking of present as the New Republic, what's going on Disney Plus, really, as being the present. We're gonna have past, present, and future as far as 3 new films. So that was definitely second on my list. Those the most exciting things that happened in that panel. Andor season 2. Got some talk about that. So that went up on my list as number 3. As exciting. I didn't think we were going to get anything announced about Andor at all. I thought it was going to be way too soon for any of that. And if I did think it was going to happen, I thought it was going to happen during the Andor season 1 panel, that we were going to get maybe a tease. But I'm glad we got it on Friday, because I didn't go to the Andor panel. So I got to see a tease of Andor season 2, which surprisingly, there wasn't much shown. It was all the same characters that we've seen already. I don't think they wanted to spoil any new people that were coming in. No mention of K2SO or anything like that. Yeah, we got some cool looks at some of the characters that they looked a little bit different. Cassian looking all suave and as he's probably going undercover somehow on Coruscant or whatever that might be. I'm just going to call Andor season 2 my hopes of the Halcyon coming on screen. So because I think it has the best bet to show up in that series, and who knows, that would be really cool to have that happen. But yeah, we just got a little tease of that, so not much, because it's still early as far as production for Andor. So, like I said, I was surprised we got any information at all on that. Hopefully, they'll release that teaser at some point to everybody. Everybody will get to see that. But my thoughts are, if it doesn't happen on May the 4th, it probably is going to wait till, late summer, maybe. I don't know. Maybe September. What kind of went, because if Andor wasn't mentioned anything, my third would have been, but it kind of dropped down to the fourth, was the Acolyte. Mentioning of the Acolyte, I knew we were going to get a lot of information on the Acolyte, and we did get a lot of information on the Acolyte. It started off really great because Leslie Headland came out with a Wookiee Jedi, which is so cool to be able to see that. So, the Acolyte takes place during the High Republic era. So we're going to have a Wookiee Jedi. It was Jedi Master Kalnaka, I believe, was his name. And, yeah, just having a Wookiee Jedi, that's going to be awesome to see that. So, super exciting. Juna Suotamo is going to be playing him. He's the one that's been inside the Chewbacca suit for most of the sequels, and for Solo, I believe, as well. I think that's it. And then he's done some other stuff. He was in Willow as well. But great to have him back playing another Wookiee. This time a Jedi Wookiee gets to wield a lightsaber. That's pretty cool. So super excited about that. We got a really cool teaser, and man, I can't wait for this one to come out for everybody to see, because talk about lightsabers. This series is supposed to be taking place kind of from the bad guys' perspective, but the bad guys are definitely outnumbered in this one. There is a scene at the end of the trailer that we saw, a little teaser that we saw, with I think it was about 7 or 8. And they just start igniting their lightsabers in a line across, and they were all different colors, from yellow to green to blue. It just gave me chills to see that much, again, the High Republic, the Jedi at the peak of their game, peace and justice. I am so looking forward to that as well. That teaser really put it out there for me. Next on my list, as far as excitement on Friday during the Lucasfilm Showcase panel, was the Skeleton Crew. I know a lot of people are worried about this one because, with the kids. But honestly, on my way back home from London, I watched Goonies. And Kathleen Kennedy actually kind of compared it to those old 80s Amblin Entertainment movies. And after watching Goonies, I could totally go for something like that with Star Wars. So yeah, and Jude Law's in it, and I honestly don't think Jude Law is going to be a good guy. I think something's going to happen, and he's going to end up being a bad guy in this one. So we'll find out, though. So Skeleton Crew, we got a really cool teaser for that. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks like a really cool, family-friendly, a little bit more so family-friendly than what Ahsoka's going to be and what Mandalorian is and Boba Fett. We're younger teenagers, preteens will be able to watch it with not too much effect on them. So if you're a parent that's worried about that kind of entertainment for your children, I think it's going to be something where a younger, youthful generation can watch and enjoy, and the parents can watch and enjoy just the same, because it's going to tie into that Mandoverse, which is going to be really awesome. I'm sure it's going to be done very well with that. The next thing that I really got excited about during that showcase panel was the Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny trailer, the final trailer that they released. And then we actually got to see a clip. It was about 8 minutes, I think they said. I think it was 8. It was a whole chase scene. And it was in true Indiana Jones essence, honestly. And it looks like a lot of fun. It looks like a lot of fun. So I'm super excited about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, as Harrison Ford's farewell to Indiana Jones. I think it's going to go out with a good bang. So yeah, really excited about that. It was a good announcement. We got a really cool poster with it. Well, we didn't get it, but they showed a really cool poster with it. Yeah, pretty amazing as far as that goes. So, I was gonna like look and see because I can't remember if I had anything. Yeah, no. Oh well. Anyway, but yeah, Indiana Jones: Dial of Destiny definitely was something I was excited about. Was there anything else during the showcase panel? I think that was pretty much it that they announced during the showcase panel. But that was a lot of trailers, a lot of announcements, a lot of Dave Filoni not giving us much information, but us thinking he was giving us a lot of information. They talked a little bit about Mandalorian Season 3 as well, and kind of the direction it's been going. And we got to see a little clip of that episode from last week. It was like the first couple minutes, and then that's when they invited us back Friday night to be able to watch the entire episode before anybody else. So, but we'll talk about those episodes a little bit later. What else happened on Friday? Friday, I actually had planned to go to... What did I have planned to go to? I ended up not really doing anything else on Friday, honestly. I was gonna do some things, and then I totally didn't. Yeah, so the making of Andor Season 1, that was one thing I was, like, thinking about. But I also wanted to go to... I didn't even know that Full of Sith was on Friday. Totally didn't know that. But, there was the Mandalorian thing really kind of messed me up for Friday, and I kind of realized I'm not going to really be able to do anything because they wanted us back at the Galaxy stage at like 5 something, and I knew that to get a good seat we had to get there early. So I ended up not. I wanted to do the Dad Batch podcast because I wanted to possibly meet those guys. So there was a lot of things I didn't get to do Friday. I ended up just walking the floor for the first time, really, and just trying to soak in as much as I could on the floor, because I usually, last year in Anaheim, I didn't really get to do a lot, even though there wasn't much on the floor, but I really wanted to get a jump on the floor and see what was out there and really get a lay of the land of the building and see where everything was. That way I could kind of navigate a little bit better for the rest of the weekend. And then we went back to the Galaxy stage and we watched the Mandalorian episode that everybody saw last week, and we basically saw it about 4 or 5 days early. So, and we were told not to tell it, and I don't think really anybody leaked anything, honestly. So I think that was a pretty good thing for everybody that was there. But yeah, it was a good Friday, good start of the weekend. And that Lucasfilm panel really blew me away. So, obviously, Saturdays are usually the busiest days at Star Wars Celebration. So, I got up super early on Saturday, and I got there in line super early, and I still didn't get as close to the front as I was on Friday because everybody came earlier on Saturday. So, Saturday, the first panel that everybody was trying to get into was the Ahsoka panel. I did get into the Ahsoka Galaxy stage again on Saturday. And again, I was like, well, what are they going to show on Saturday that they didn't show on Friday? One of the big things is we got an extended trailer from Friday. So the extended trailer showed a couple extra scenes, which were pretty amazing. That being, we got to see Thrawn actually front, so we got to see who it really was, and then that's when they announced it was Lars Mikkelsen, and he came out on stage. So that was really awesome. We also got to see a little bit more of the other characters in Ahsoka as far as the antagonists. So we basically found out that Morgan Elsbeth is back, and then we have these two other characters that look like Dark Jedi. Not really sure. One of them looked like he had maybe an orange lightsaber, not really red. But the characters' names are Balin Skull and Shin Haiti, I think, are the two. I don't know if I'm pronouncing them right, but those were the two new saber force-wielding characters that we see. And Morgan Elsbeth we actually see wielding a lightsaber as well, which is really awesome. We also got to actually, in the extended trailer, hear Huang speak, the droid, and it was David Tennant, and they announced that the Doctor is back as Huang. And the one cool thing about that, I thought this was really interesting, is that David Tennant actually pre-recorded all of his lines before they did the scenes with Huang. That way, when the actors were acting with Huang, they are able to hear David Tennant's voice acting, which gives more of a better acting, like back and forth with the character, which I thought that was a pretty good idea. I've never heard of that being done before. So that's one of those things that, just those simple things that Filoni and Favreau think of to make everything just kind of harmonious in the way the storyline goes, which is pretty awesome. So super excited about that. Was thinking he was going to show up, but he wasn't there. That would have been pretty cool if David Tennant showed up at Star Wars Celebration. Yeah, and then they also announced that Kevin Kiner, who did the music on Rebels, and some of the other animated series, but really the main reason is that he did the music in Clone Wars, Rebels, ties into Ahsoka very well because he knows the theming is coming back to do the score. So yeah, live action for Kevin Kiner. So that'll be amazing to have that music. Different styles coming in. And of course, they said he was going to kind of, because Ahsoka's like theme kind of has already been heard in The Mandalorian, so he's going to, use that a little bit. There's going back and forth. We're going to hear a little bit of both perspectives on that musical score. So I'm sure it'll be amazing as far as the musical score. But yeah, that trailer. We also got to see Sabine actually ignite what looks like Ezra's lightsaber. So that's pretty awesome. We know Sabine has used the Darksaber before, so she's pretty crafty with sabers. So that'll be, maybe she has force potential. That'd be pretty awesome. We also got to see the Purgle up and close at the end of that trailer. Sabine and Hera flying, and then that big Purgle's mouth opening. So that was amazing. So of course we got to see the Purgles in the first episode of Mandalorian season 3 this year, as they were going through hyperspace. Grogu kind of looks out. You can see the Purgles flying, which gave me chills to see that first little glance of live action Purgles. But this one, we're actually getting to see the Purgles quite clearly. So that was pretty awesome. So that was the Ahsoka panel. We got to watch that trailer twice, that extended trailer twice, because there was so much extra in there. We wanted to see the differences, and of course they wanted to make sure we saw the differences, so we got to see that trailer back to back, which was a lot of fun. So yeah, so that was my Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, I went to I think that was when the 40 years, yeah, 40 years of Return of the Jedi happened. So I went to that, went to the 40 years of Return of the Jedi, which was in the afternoon at about 2 p.m. I did get into the live stage for that one, which was really cool. So yeah, 40 years of Return of the Jedi. Crazy, right? We got a really cool poster, by the way, which was really awesome. Let's see, I'll pull that up for you just so you can see it. Yeah, this poster right here. Love that poster. So 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi. Let's see, who came out on stage? We had Anthony Daniels, Warwick Davis, drawing a blank of who was there. Billy D. Williams, Ian McDiarmid, those four from the movie, and then we had Doug Chang and some others with production come in as well. Ming-Na Wen actually moderated it, which was really cool. Yeah, it was really awesome to have some of them back talking about what it was like filming Return of the Jedi, specifically some of the scenes in Death Valley and on Endor and so forth, which was a blast. The poster basically was announcing that it's returning to theaters April 28th. I really want to go see that. Return of the Jedi was the first movie I saw in theaters that I remember anyway. So it was a lot of fun, and I really want to see it back on the screen again. So it'll be cool, even though it's different from when I saw it. Because I didn't get to see it when the special editions came back out. That was something that I was sick and I couldn't go. But the poster is really awesome. They actually gave us this poster, which was really cool. Not full size, but the normal ones that they give out as Celebration. So yeah, eventually, I don't know if I'll hang that one up though. I don't know. I got a lot of Return of the Jedi stuff, so we'll see. But anyway, that was a cool little reveal that we got there, and it was cool to I love going back down memory lane type of thing, and hearing some of that stuff as far as how production works. And Anthony Daniels is great because he just likes to rip on everybody and go back and forth with Warwick and Ian McDiarmid, and Billy D. Williams kind of felt like he was didn't really belong. But I think he opened up a little bit when he got out to the live stage a little bit. I saw him out there a little bit later, and he seemed like he had gotten in his little comfort zone, talking a little bit more. Yeah, he's getting up there though, Billy D. Williams. So don't know how many more of these events he's gonna show up to. But yeah, that was the Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary announcement of it coming back to theaters for a limited run, which is really cool. And then what else did I do on Saturday? Saturday evening, I ended up going up to one of the stages for Mike Celestino's podcast, which he did at the end of the day up at the Holonet News stage. He did his Who's the Boss podcast, which was he did a great job. So it was fun to be able to go to panels that I don't normally go to and still get a lot out of it. So it was pretty amazing. So really good guest, and every week he talks about what's been going on. He talked about some of the stuff that had happened at Star Wars Celebration, and because that's what he does, and he does a great job at it. So check out Who's the Boss. It's a great listen. One of my favorite podcasts to listen to all the time. So, but yeah, that's what happened on Saturday. Andy Serkis was there on Saturday, roaming around on the floor. Came within 5 feet of me. I think I posted a picture of that when I kind of came across him. And then Saturday I was done. Saturday I went back to the hotel, and I pretty much, after a bite to eat, kind of passed out. And it was on to Sunday. So Sunday, I did not get up early on Sunday. I kind of meandered my way over there and just kind of like walked around the floor again. I went up to the university stage at 11 o'clock. I totally forgot I did this. And I did the 40 years later exploring the history behind Blue Harvest, which was a pretty cool panel. I don't know why I really stumbled into that, but it was pretty cool. It like basically told about, how that fake name kind of worked but didn't work. And yeah, they showed a cool little behind the scenes video when some fans like stumbled across the Dune Sea, Return of the Jedi. Scenes, and they went up to the fence and had some talks with Billy D. Williams and some other people about what was going on. So it was pretty awesome to see that. It was a pretty neat panel to go to. What else happened on Sunday? We had a look back at Obi-Wan Kenobi. I did not go to that either. I ran into somebody today at Galaxy's Edge that actually went to that, or tried to go to that. He couldn't get into it either. Star Wars cosplay competition. I know somebody that went to that. She said it was kind of disappointing. The Disney parks where Star Wars comes to life. Okay, so that one I did go to as well. Of course, I work for Disney, so I'm going to go to that one big time. I was front and center for that one. We got a lot of awesome major announcements. I went to Galaxy's Edge, or not, I went to Hollywood Studios today, and I rode Star Tours 3 times, just because I was so excited about the new announcement that we're getting new Star Tours locations coming in 2024, and that they're going to be new locations. I think everybody heard that differently, because I heard it as new locations that we're going to see in upcoming projects. Other people said that they heard it as new locations that we're not going to see. I thought it as new locations that we haven't seen yet. I don't know. We'll see. My hopes is that Lothal is one of them. That's all I care about. I'm a big fan of Lothal, and I'm from Lothal, so that's one thing that's I really hope for as far as that. Then we talked about Star Cruiser a lot at that panel. Just trying to get people to understand Star Cruiser, because nobody gets it. And honestly, I don't know if it worked. There was a lot of people that I heard comments, basically the same old comments, that really the comments weren't really answered too much in the panel. But we did get some cool news out of that, specifically that we got a Gaia poster. We actually got to take home a Gaia poster, which was awesome. I wanted to have that hanging up behind me, but I just did not get a chance to. And we also got told that the Gaia soundtrack will drop on May the 4th. Finally, the Gaia soundtrack. We also got reminded, because it had already dropped. We get it. We totally get it. You get what? You get Star Cruiser? I know you guys get Star Cruiser. I don't know if anybody else gets Star Cruiser. That's the whole thing. They just don't get it. Yeah, so Gaia soundtrack, May the 4th. Vinyl Gaia soundtrack coming at some point, which now I have to get a turntable, right? Because who doesn't want to listen to Gaia on vinyl? I mean, I definitely do. That's going to start my rabbit hole of getting vinyl. I guarantee you that, because I've always wanted to get into some vinyl collections, and now I'm going to be going down that whole rabbit hole. So thank you for releasing a Gaia vinyl soundtrack. But we don't know when that's coming out yet. Here's my little thing about the way Star Cruiser is presented, that everybody keeps saying it's too expensive. And I don't believe that. And it's like, yes, I haven't gone yet. I work there every day, yes. And I know it's completely different going as a passenger. And I want to go. And yes, it's a lot of money, and I don't have the extra time for me to go. Um, the extra money for me to go when I'm, going off to London for Star Wars Celebration. And then in 2 more years, I'll be going off to Japan for Star Wars Celebration. So I don't know when I'll get to Star Cruiser, but I feel that I still don't feel it's too much money. I don't want them to lower the price because I think it's worth it. Like, honestly, I feel that the price tag is, and everybody always said, well, you work there and, you're supposed to say that, blah, blah, blah. But the breakdown of it just makes sense. It makes sense to me of why the cost is the way it is. And honestly, it's really not the most expensive place on Disney property to stay when you break everything down day by day and what you're getting out of it. And I heard so many people today that I worked with that were talking yesterday and today that were talking about this certain pop star that has recently gone on tour. And I'm not going to say names, but I know for a fact that people spent thousands of dollars on these tickets and they went to multiple shows. Why? Because they love this pop singer. And great. If you love that, do it. What's the difference? If you're that big of a Star Wars fan, you're going to spend that much money for a 45-hour immersive experience of something that you love. That's why and I don't think that was really they still aren't putting that point out there to everybody. They, like, what we saw, like all the pictures that were on the stage for the panel showed a lot of children interacting with the characters and everything like that, which I actually heard somebody behind me say, why would I pay that much money for a child's experience? So it's still not getting across that it's not for children. People aren't getting that. They still think it's for children, that it's not actually for adult fans. And that's where I think the miss is hitting, that is happening. And it's not getting out there that it's for people that grew up with Star Wars, honestly. Yeah, you can bring your kids and your kids can have fun, but it's really for the adults, honestly, to have fun with Star Wars. So, and I just don't think that point's getting across. And that's like one of the things that I try to explain to people. And sometimes it gets through, sometimes it doesn't. But what really, like, I love about what we're doing at Star Cruiser is, and I'm going to tell this story because this was something that just blew my mind. And I posted a picture of it on my Instagram page of somebody that I met. And I met her at the Star Wars panel, or the Disney panel, the parks panel. She is a cosplayer, and she's a cosplayer, and she came to the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser panel as the droid from Star Tours. And we were talking to her, and she had mentioned that she was going to be dressing up as Gaia because this was Sunday, on Monday. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And from the way she looked with her cosplay on Sunday, I was like, okay, well, the Gaia one's got to be amazing. And I asked, we asked, has she been on the Star Cruiser? And she said no. She says she's never been to Star Cruiser before. So, she basically just said that she's a huge fan. She's heard about people's stories of going. She saw the concept art. She's seen videos, pictures, all of this, and it's just inspired her so much. Which I'm like, okay, so something's inspired you that you've never even been to, and you're going to cosplay as a character from this location, and you've never actually been immersed in this environment yet. So I was really curious as to like how much she put into this. And when I met her the next day, and again, I wish I had the picture where I could bring it up now. but I don't. I don't even know if I have Instagram on here to be able to do that on my computer. But she just looked outstanding. Yeah, I don't, and it's gonna make me log in, and I probably don't know my password, and it's probably not gonna work. But I can show it on here because she was just outstanding. The way she did Gaia was better than anybody's cosplay that I've seen yet, honestly. And just to see her up when I came out of the panel that I went to on Monday, and I saw her, she was kind of sitting down. I honestly teared up. Honestly, she just looked outstanding. But that was her. That was her. Looked amazing. Yes, both of her cosplay costumes were epic. I totally agree. But she had everything. She was super, super nice. She had made these little tickets as well, which I didn't show these. And this isn't hers, this was her friend's. But she made these little tickets because she didn't have one left for her. She made these they were for her social media, and this is her friend's actually. They were like little ticket stubs for the Halcyon, which was so cool. It had their Instagram handle on there, the date of Star Wars Celebration, basically their port, which was London. Their destination was Chandrilla, which basically was saying that they want to go. Yeah, it was awesome. It has a little line on there, thank you for the memories at Star Wars Celebration 2023 Europe. And it basically says the Halcyon on there as well. But so cool. And totally just made these, which was giving those out, and she had ran out of the Halcyon ones for me, but her friend had them as well, even though her friend didn't cosplay. But she ended up giving me one of her Star Tours one, because that's her handle, Julia Trinket. It was just so neat that she did it. And this one actually had a front and a back, because it had the boarding pass on there on the back, which was really cool, which had the Star Speeder 3000, Earth being the destination, departure time 7 to 12. Yeah, it was really neat. Just so awesome. I love it when fans really get into it that much. It was great. So I actually had an extra of those Halcyon passenger pins. It was a damaged one that I had gotten, and I gave her one of those because she's amazing. And then I found some stuff that I was like, dang it, I wish I knew that I still had some of that. I would have given her that too. I found some other Halcyon stuff, and I was like, man, I should have given her that, but didn't get a chance to find that because I had so much stuff in my backpack that people had given me and everything like that. So, but yeah, Star Cruiser, talked about Star Cruiser. They really didn't talk about much else. It looked like there was some other things they were supposed to maybe mention, but they didn't. So Disney Parks panel was still good. Our good friend Holly Fry moderated that one, which was awesome. She also did I forgot I went to the one before that one, which was the Tales from Galaxy's Edge panel. Again, another panel I never would have gone to, but makes me want to buy a PlayStation 5 and a VR set. But, where do I have $1,000 to drop on all of that stuff? So if somebody wants to give me one, that's great. But yeah, for that game, I mean, it looked amazing. And the way they explained how it was, it just, yeah, I totally want to play that game so bad. I think that's all I did on Sunday. I think that was it. Yeah, because that lasted till 5 o'clock, and that was good, and I was done. I ended up going to the Cantina 2 Bash. Yeah, this thing. That was at the O2 Center. It was really cool. A couple bands played. DJ Level Up Leroy was one of the DJs. DJ Elliott was there. Darth Elvis, Blues Harvest, Ash, was a good event. Good event. Got some really cool patches. Blues Harvest, really cool. The guitar in the that was really awesome. I love that one. And then this one, Blues Harvest as well, kind of a play on that old school Luke Skywalker. Really awesome. Love cool stuff like that. I think that was it that I got from them. Also got a t-shirt somewhere from that as well. But yeah, that was a good time. Good fun time. Monday morning, I didn't really wake up early again because I was tired and exhausted, and it was the last day, and there wasn't anything in the morning that I wanted to go to. So I did not get over there super early again. But they did have the Bad Batch. I did not go to the Bad Batch one. Kind of disappointed I didn't, because the Bad Batch panel is where they actually released another trailer for season 3, which obviously we knew. They announced season 3 we knew it was going to happen. The cliffhanger, obviously we were getting a season 3. So, but they did play a teaser for season 3, announcing that it was coming in 2024. So that was announced. Didn't get to see that, unfortunately. We had Star Wars Visions Volume 2 panel, which I did not go to that either. There was a trailer for that as well, which we all got now. We can watch that trailer. Really awesome. Really looking forward to that. Drops May the 4th. So we don't have long. Yeah. May the 4th, right? Yeah, May the 4th for that. I was thinking for a minute, I was thinking Tales of the Jedi. But May the 4th for Visions Volume 2. So, and I think they actually got to see one of the episodes in its entirety as well, which was the ones with the creators of Wallace and Gromit. That one is the one that everybody got to see. So, super excited to see some of that. I went to a panel up in the university stage that, again, another panel I would not have gone to had not Holly Fry been moderating this one or part of this one. Was the Star Wars Trailer Park panel, which was really fun because they went through a couple of the Star Wars trailers from past, a couple of commercials, that advertisements and so forth that were out there, and just kind of talked about how kind of funny, cheesy, all this good stuff. It was good times, good laughs. Great to be able to do that one. So that was a good fun afternoon with that one. And then we went to the closing ceremony, which of course we got the amazing announcement of where the next Star Wars Celebration was going to be. And we know that one is going to be in Japan, right? So Star Wars Celebration Japan 2025, April 18th to the 20th. Yeah, I'm already planning it. And if I can't get tickets, I'm going to try to work it or something. I need to get there. So, because obviously I'm going to be planning the trip before I go. So, yeah, I can't wait. Already definitely planning that one. Probably going to be doing a long trip to Japan with that one. There was a couple other panels that had some things, and I don't know where they were, but some things that I kind of wished I saw, didn't see. One thing I did see on the floor, which was really cool. The floor, the Hasbro panel, the Hasbro floor area had some really cool figures and things for Return of the Jedi and so forth. But the coolest thing that I saw at the Hasbro panel was the little mini chopper animatronic. Almost bought that like right away, honestly. Pre-ordered it. It looks really cool. I don't know how much it is, but he talks back and everything. It looks so cool. Yeah, that chopper animatronic, that's pretty awesome. They actually had the poster of Tales from the Jedi as well, which I forgot to pull that up, but I'm sure you've probably seen it by now, but it's really awesome. Love this. I love this vision, or the Visions. I'm sorry, the Visions one. I love this. So Visions Volume 2. That was the poster. It's really cool. So much in that. I mean, so much diversity in this season, because the first season was all animators from Japan, but this one's got a variety from all over the world, which is really cool. Different countries. So we're going to get a lot of diversity in these episodes. And there's a breakdown of every episode on StarWars.com. You can kind of read a little synopsis of every single one of them. Kind of made some friends with the Jazzwares guys. I'm not big into the little micro galaxy things. Let me pop this back out again. Little micro galaxy thing. Haven't opened these yet. I got 3 little mystery boxes. I'll probably open one at some point, but I might give some of these away. So stay tuned for that. So that was pretty cool. Got to meet those guys. They were pretty awesome, pretty generous. And then Young Jedi Adventures, the trailer that was released was also there ahead of time. I watched that trailer as well. Actually, I'm kind of excited about that one too. We get to go to Batu, I believe. I think they may have actually got to watch an episode as well. But that's for like younger Disney Junior ages. So like Spidey and Friends and all that good stuff that's on Disney Plus. Getting that next generation of Star Wars fans started early, right? But I think it's stuff that even like parents can sit there and still enjoy it with their kids. Honestly, I've watched some of those like fun little cartoons as well, and they are entertaining. So I'll probably, it's Star Wars, so I'm gonna watch it, obviously. And then Tales of the Jedi Season 2 as well was talked about. I believe nothing was really said as far as like time frame on that yet, but there is a confirmation that we are getting another Tales from the Jedi season. So can't wait to see who that's going to be about. So pretty awesome. But yeah, overall, Star Wars Celebration, best celebration I've ever been to. I got lots of t-shirts. So I'll be wearing those as I get them washed and out. Got a lot of cool pins. Not as many as I wanted because there wasn't much left, but these are what they look like. Some of these are going to friends of mine. So that's the Jabba the Hutt, Bib Fortuna, Salacious Crumb. This is the Rancor one. And then that was an oversized one. It's pretty cool. And then this one of my favorites, the Jackson pin. Pretty awesome. There's a High Republic issue of that. And then we had bought some stuff. I bought some Stance socks and as well as a retro lunchbox, and they gave me this cool Chewy pin with that one. So that one I didn't purchase. That one actually was a giveaway for purchasing stuff at the Stance booth. And then my wife bought a bunch of Ahsoka stuff from the Heroes and Villains floor area, and she got a baby Ahsoka pin, which I probably will never be able to touch. And then somebody gave me this really cool Capord. I didn't even notice it. It says Cappuccino. It's a little porg with his tongue out in a cappuccino cup. Somebody gave me that one. That was really cool. I love all this like stuff that people give out. It's like so awesome. What other cool stuff did I get? I got a lot of cool stickers. Got a lot of these cool things. Somebody made these. It's pretty awesome. Love these. What else was there? I haven't even opened this one yet. I love this one too. This one's one of my favorite stickers. So colorful. Love that one. That one I think is going on my laptop. That one's one of my favorites. But yeah, good stuff. a magnet, car magnet, Mandalorian car magnet. Pretty cool. And then another one of my favorites was the Star Wars Celebration Abbey Road. So I got to go to Abbey Road, which was really cool. So yeah, I didn't get a lot of swag, but another magnet, Mandalorian magnet. Oh, and I bought a Funko Pop, which is a misprint, by the way. ME809 is incorrect. Should be ME8D9. So that was a misprint. They didn't know that until after I bought it, and I told them. And then they were like, "Really? We should have charged more for that." So I don't know if they had any more and they charged more later, but yeah. So it's already been like an hour and 13 minutes, and I never even talked about Mandalorian. So I'm gonna just real quick. 2 weeks ago, Mandalorian Chapter 22, Guns for Hire. That was the one where they went to the planet Plazir 15, I believe. The one with Jack Black and Lizzo that everybody was kind of like, seriously, but I thought it was funny. I love one of my favorite parts of that episode was going down to the Ugnaughts to get their help, and they kind of were like, "We're not helping you," and then Mandalorian like basically clicking with them because of Quill, which was really cool, and using the "I have spoken" after he like talked to, just it like showed that like the connection, the cultural. Respecting the culture of another species, which was like what he did, and it was like so awesome, man. Like that was one of my favorite scenes of that one. The Ugnaughts are amazing. They're some of my favorite characters, and I love how we're getting to see more and more of them. Quill was amazing. It was so sad that he didn't make it through the first season of Mandalorian, but maybe we'll see more Ugnaughts in the future. I say more Ugnaughts, more Ugnaughts. Christopher Lloyd was also a pleasure to see pop up in that episode as Commissioner Halgett, and then him be the bad guy, which you could kind of tell that was going to happen. I mean, I could anyway. And then I really thought it was clever how they made it so that Bo-Katan could basically take the Darksaber without the combat. Which, when that happened in that episode where Din Djarin got captured and Bo basically picked up the Darksaber and used it to free him, I knew that was going to be the loophole. Like I could tell that was going to happen at some point. If that might have been how they were going to basically have it passed off to her, and that's what they did. But yeah, Guns for Hire. The reason why they went to Plazir 15 was to basically, bring back some of the Mandalorians that were under Bo-Katan, and so they're all back together now, all the different clans, which is really cool, working together. And then we had Chapter 23, The Spies, which was the episode that we got to see at Star Wars Celebration before anybody else, which from the front to back was outstanding. It had a little bit of fun in the middle there, but it started off really intense. We got to see a little bit more of how much of the Imperial remnant is out there and how they're kind of doing their own thing, but they're still a collective, checking in on each other and kind of protecting one another, but also, working in their own interest. And it was really cool to see or to hear, a Hux character, and then also a Palaeon, which was from the Heir to the Empire days with Thrawn. So really cool to have those two, and curious about who some of the other people are and how much more we're going to see of them in maybe this week's episode. So really super excited about that. The IG-12 that the Anzellans kind of came up with as a fix for Mando, and basically it being for Grogu as his new ride, which was kind of like a lighthearted part of the episode. Because it was going to get really dark. They went back to Mandalore. We got to see a really cool new creature, the Trinitar, which like basically wreaked havoc on them, and they didn't even try to fight it because obviously it's something that they knew that they were not going to be able to defeat. So that was pretty cool. And then the end of the episode, they finally get down to where they're headed, and it ends up being a base, an Imperial base, full of Imperial commandos, which looked really cool. They kind of had that Ralph McQuarrie-esque look to them, with the jetpacks and everything. And then we get to see Moff Gideon come out in his Dark Trooper 2.0 armor with the kind of that Mandalorian-esque look as far as his helmet. Almost looking like some of the Death Watch Mandalorians that were under Maul in the Clone Wars, which was really awesome. Kind of that tie back to that as well. And then, unfortunately, we lost an amazing Mandalorian, Paz Vizsla, who basically did an amazing last stand to protect everyone, to let them get free. And then those awesome Praetorian guards that came out, which I love so much from Last Jedi. So it's great to see things get tied together. But man, poor Paz Vizsla. He didn't have a chance. He didn't have a chance with them. So the spies, as far as like the name of that episode, not really sure. There's some rumors out there. Is the armorer a spy? I don't know. Like I have this feeling that the armorer is somebody that's connected to somebody else, either connected to Bo-Katan or connected to a past character from the Clone Wars or Rebels, or somebody that we are not thinking that either exists, or we don't think that they're alive anymore, but they're under that helmet. And I think we're going to get a reveal of that, of who she is. So it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. I don't know when I'm going to get to watch this one tomorrow, because I am working early tomorrow morning, and I'm pretty much going all day, so might not be able to watch it till later tonight, later tomorrow night. But yeah, so but can't wait. But it's kind of sad. A lot of dark side coming in on us right now, because Celebration's over. Going down on that. I did run into some people from Celebration London that were visiting us here in the States. Got to reminisce a little bit, but Celebration's over until 2025. Kind of sad. And then Mandalorian, last episode. And then we don't have anything until May the 4th. So yeah, I'll do my recap of Mandalorian finale next week. And then also next week, I'm going to have another crucial character of the month for you. So we'll talk about that. So, all right. I'm going to head to get some rest. I'm going to go cool my jets. So have a great night. Thank you for joining. Heroes of the Halcyon. It's always a pleasure to see you. And yeah, we got May the 4th coming up soon. So again, great times, great celebration this year. Probably be the last thing I talk about that. Have a great week as well. I'll be back at Star Cruiser for most of the rest of the week. And yeah, hopefully I have some more exciting news on the horizon about Star Cruiser and about everything else. And yep. With that being said, again, have a great night. May the stars light your way.